Number 5, focus the majority on your time on high leverage activities. Yeah, I call it the Southwest Airlines approach to business. Now, if you look at Southwest Airlines, they're very successful for a number of reasons. And Nashville's a big Southwest airline kind of hub. And every time I pull up to the airport, the Southwest Airlines is like they're constantly, everyone's traveling on Southwest, and all the other airlines are like empty. And so they're a very successful, very profitable company. When a lot of other airlines are going out of business who arguably should be more profitable, they've been in the game longer. These other airlines, American Airlines, United, these guys have been in the game longer than Southwest. They should be more profitable. They should know better. They have more experience. That's not the case. And one of the reasons that Southwest Airlines is so successful, and they started out with the lowest rates and the customer service was a big key, is because they have one plane. They don't have 15 different planes. And so what that means is they only need the skills, the technicians that know how to service one plane. They only need to have the parts on hand to fix one plane. Right? They only need pilots who know how to fly this one plane. And that makes for immense operational efficiencies. Right? So I started out in the consulting business just like all of you, getting paid for my time, which is a horrible way to leverage yourself. Getting dollars for time is horrible, horrible leverage. You can't, because there's a limit. There's only so much you can do, and it depends on you doing something. All right, that's a bad exchange. So that's why I created the things like the Toolkit and the Blueprint and the BDR in a Box and the Producers Club and the Apprentice Club, because I wanted a way to deliver something to my customers that was high value, that they couldn't get anywhere else, and that was highly leverageable. So once I created it, I can sell it over and over and over again. For you guys, BDR is definitely one of those things. Definitely. If I was in your shoes, I would be going out there and focused on selling backup disaster recovery as much as I could. Because think about it. It grows in revenue naturally. How many of your clients have more data today than they did a year ago? Yeah, and once you sell it, as long as you don't screw things up, they're going to keep buying, right? It's like that's your vending machine. And that's not to say you don't sell consulting services. I'm not suggesting that. But in your business, you want to have vending machines. Customer walks up, puts money in, product spits out, done. It's a system. And you want to think about that, high leverage activities. So, for example, I don't do anything. I don't take on any project unless it has some other synergy as well. I get asked all the time, Robin, can you come speak to our plumbing association? Robin, can you take your marketing and can you create it for, California Food Service Administration is a bunch of lunch ladies. I get asked all the time, could you create something for this? Could you create, and the problem is there's no synergy in it. So to me, I only take projects that have synergy, meaning they have multiple ways I can profit from it. Okay, so for example, when Intronis came to me and said, we want to sponsor the BDR in a Box, well, that's a natural for me because it's a product I have and it's materials I can leverage already. It's introducing me to new prospects in their list, so that's good, and I can sell it to my own list. That's a high leverage activity. And I can put my full effort behind that because it has multiple facets. Nito Cobain, who you saw speak, the reason Nito goes out and even speaks at all is because it's marketing for High Point. Think about it. He's getting paid a pretty hefty fee for coming out and speaking to entrepreneurs. Guess who his number one clientele are? Entrepreneurs. Because you know what happens at the end of his speeches? You know what people come up to me, and they say it to me, I'm sure they say it to him. What do you think they say? I want my kid going to High Point University. So he just got paid to deliver a commercial. That's high leverage. I say commercial, but you get the idea. That's high synergy. Okay? So you've got to make sure you think and work in the majority of your time on high leverage activities. All right? Not things that you get paid one-off to do. Now, occasionally you have to do that. When I got started, that's how I started. But you want to start thinking about high leverage. What's something that like when I talked yesterday about the BDR, has a natural upward trend that lower skilled workers could do or manage, that could be automated or systematized in some way. And you go, well, you can't do that in my business, Robin. You just can't do it. What is that? If I just said that to myself, what is that? It's a negative belief. Of course you're not going to be able to find it because you just shut off any possibility because you just said it's not possible. But what if you thought maybe it is possible? Let me think, how would it happen? And you put some time and thought, and you might not come up with the answer in a minute, but if you give yourself some time and you start always thinking about, am I spending my time on high leverage activities? Things that once I create it, once I implement it, I can use it over and over again. It's synergistic with everything else I'm doing, and it's going to be a profit faucet for me, meaning that it's going to constantly feed me for a long time.